LFR question.
No, we're getting to this early. Go ahead.
What's more strange, the Leafs being good or the Red Wings being bad?
I think the answer is Babcock being Leafs coach.
The correct answer is Ron Hainsey having 2 goals before Jake Gardiner even has a shot on net.
Is that a thing?
Hi! Victory puppy! Clam the parade!
I have no idea what I'm doing.
Congratulations, this team is ruining my life!
Victory puppies, boys! Well, boys, you're looking snazzy today. Look at you with your fresh haircuts, just like the haircut Nylander's gonna have to take if this keeps up. Speaking of haircut, your wallet could use one too. It's an awkward transition, but it's the best that I could do. Ridge wallets. They're compact, indestructible, and you can keep a picture of your favorite player in them. I got a picture of the current scoring race in there myself. Leafs win! 5-3, which at this point is becoming a late 90s goalie duel for them over the Detroit Red Wings. Austin Matthews scored twice again, leads the league in goal scoring. Goofy. Morgan Riley got a couple more points. Guess what? He's leading the league in scoring. Goofy. Hockey. Goofy. John Tavares, no assists in his first 4 games. Guess what? In this game, he had 4 assists. Goofy. So it was a good win for the Leafs, but not perfect, so let's talk about the goofy game that was. Red Wings fans watching, I'm gonna get to an If I Were You segment, and I think you might want to stick around for this one. And speaking of sticking around, the opposing team might want to stick around for opening face-off against the Leafs, because through 4 games, they haven't been very good in the first 10 minutes. In this one, they actually did look good, despite Kadri taking an irresponsible slashing penalty against Tyler Bertuzzi. Dude, I get the frustration and I love you as a player, but you're 28, man. Can't remember if I've already talked about this, but I had someone go, hey, Nazem Kadri's a veteran on this team. How come he doesn't get an A? Because typically players who wear letters talk to the refs a lot and the refs hate him. Look, Tyler Bertuzzi tried to fight you in the preseason. He doesn't like you. You don't like him. You're in the same division. Get cozy. Luckily, that doesn't cost the Leafs, and their fine first 10 minutes continues. Until offensive zone, Martin Marincin goes in for a pinch. How dare he? 4-on-1 the other way. Travis Dermott looking back like Simba looking at a stampede of wildebeests. Dermott's taken out of the play. 2 Red Wings attackers in alone on Freddie, and Nick Jensen says, "Long live the king." So much for the solid first 10 minutes. Nick Jensen scores his first of the season to give the Red Wings a 1-0 lead. Oh, Martin Marincin. Martin McPinchin, more like. But I'm gonna defend Martin Marincin. Yeah, because he can't defend anything himself. Haha. This is why the replay is important. Marincin goes in for a pinch, which you're allowed to do. Defenders are allowed to jump into the offensive rush. For example, Morgan Riley leading the league in scoring. And I said this many times, even this past summer, the Leafs' defensive problems don't just lie on their defensive personnel. Tavares sees him going for the pinch, and rather than cover for him, he goes in and tries to fish out the puck. Guess what? You don't get it. 4-on-1. And ironically, one of the arguments that I made for Tavares this summer was there will be less of that because he's a defensively responsible center. Bad, JT, bad. You can't do that, especially if you're not going to generate any offense. 4 minutes left in the period. Tavares, with a little pass. Marner gets the puck. Hyman driving the net, so he passes to Arkin Rossley. A round of applause for that clapper, and the Leafs tie it up. Tavares gets his first assist as a Leaf, and Morgan Riley, with that point, becomes the league's leading scorer. You know, as we all predicted. By the way, if you pick Morgan Riley in your fantasy pool this year, give yourself a pat on the back. Look, I doubt he's gonna win the Art Ross, but I mean, he's on pace to right now. But if you picked him, I'm willing to bet it wasn't just because you were like, well, it's the Leafs, I like the Leafs. And even if that was your reason for picking him, good, go, follow your heart. It makes fantasy pools funner. Funner? Yeah, no, we're not retaking it. That's the word we're going with. But heading into this season, you knew Morgan Riley was gonna be on that redonkulous power play. And yeah, this was a 5-on-5 goal, but guess what? He's good there too. He's a great player in general, who happens to play on, currently, the league's deadliest power play. Well, have fun, everybody. So other than the snafu on the first goal, the Leafs have otherwise a great first period, outshooting the Red Wings 11-6, but it's only tied after 1. Just 2 minutes into the frame, Tavares tries to ring it around the boards. There's a defender there. Puck going along the Kron wall, you might say. But he can't control the puck, and it just goes right in front of Zach Hyman. And those are the moments you can capitalize the most because they cause panic. All the training, all the preparation you've done goes out the window. Those are the moments in which you double team Zach Hyman, leaving Mitch Marner completely alone. Hyman with the beautiful feed to Marner, as you all predicted, I'm sure. Goal. Marner's 3rd of the season, tying Morgan Riley in goal scoring, makes it 2-1 Leafs. Now, because I can't be completely happy, allow me to address my ongoing war against getting secondary assists right. Sometimes I defend secondary assists, saying that they're absolutely important. For example, Tavares' secondary assist on the first goal was fantastic. Not on this one! Tavares was the 4th last person to touch the puck. Kronwall flubbed it to Hyman. If this was baseball, it would be an error. But I'm looking at it, and there he is. He gets an assist anyway. But I got him in my fantasy pool, so I'm not saying nothing. And just when you thought, oh, there's no more stupid stat that Steve cares more about than the secondary assists, can we all talk about Per Lindholm's penalty differential? Oh, it's my favorite stat that nobody cares about, but you better care about it this year. Lindholm driving the net, draws the tripping call on Shulak. That's great. Get possession of the puck, drive the net, move those feet, and good things like that happen. Lindholm on the backhand almost scored the goal himself, but he might as well have. Whoever draws the most penalties on this team needs to be one of your favorite players. Because when anyone draws a penalty, in this case Per Lindholm, it brings out the Leafs power play. But I was annoyed on this one because it took them almost a full minute and a half to score. Tut, they're losing their touch. Kadri drops it back for Riley. Riley over to Matthews, you know. When he shoots, the puck goes in. That's how it works. His 8th of the season already makes it 3-1 Leafs. And with that goal, Matthews ties Morgan Riley. No, he doesn't, because Riley got an assist. Riley still leads the league in scoring. One thing I want to address on this goal, though, and this game was highlighted by how frustrating the beginning of the season has been for Nazem Kadri. Oh, he's getting robbed. He's hitting posts. The goals aren't counting. And it's one thing to say Kadri is having a frustrating start to the season, which I think he is, just ask him. But it's another to say he's a passenger on this power play unit, which I saw a few people say. Stop that. He got an assist on this goal. No, it wasn't the fanciest of all time, but he got it. It's one thing if you're in your own end, strip the puck yourself, go off on a breakaway and score a goal. Yeah, it's a bit of an individual effort. But this is a power play unit. He's part of what makes it tick. He's part of what's been making it tick for the past 2 years. 32 goals in 2 straight seasons. I think he's gonna get off the schneid. Give it a rest. Third period. About 5 minutes in, I think there might have been a bit of a miscommunication. Dylan Larkin is rushing up the wing with the puck and Travis Dermott is guarding him. This is a rush that started at the offensive blue line and Tavares has been tailing him the whole way, which is a shame because Thomas Vanek is skating up the other wing with no one watching him. Dermott realizes a bit too late that JT can't get to Vanek, you gotta do it yourself. Larkin's able to make the pass, Vanek with the shot, hits it off the post, thank goodness, rebound, oh my god! What? That's not in? That's what? They show the replay. Ding! Comes back out. Shot back in. Ding. Red Wings fans, maybe you can help me out with this one. Who's the color commentator for your broadcast? Because if you go to Sportsnet's YouTube channel, those are the highlights that they used. It's hilarious. After every Leafs goal and after every Wings post, you hear the play-by-play guy like, oh! Color commentator in the background like, oh my god. Like at the end of the broadcast, I just wanted to hug him and tell him it's all gonna be okay. Everything, oh my god. Seriously, watch it. It's hilarious. Anyway, I'm not smart enough X's and O's guy to tell you if that was Tavares' fault, but he could have maybe let Dermott know. And obviously, once again, Marty Marincin is off somewhere else. So the Tavares line and the Marincin-Dermott pairing having difficulty clicking in this game. A few minutes later, however, that line thinks they got a goal. They don't. The puck was under Howard. The Leafs are shoveling away at it. Guys, I saw a few people go, oh, quick whistle. No. Despite that, the Leafs are out shooting the Red Wings 30-17. That's excellent. Then the Red Wings start peppering. Freddie, stop. There's a rebound. Red Wings get the puck back. Freddie's down and out. Karate Kid, stop on Jensen! But Jensen manages to corral the rebound, and there's no way Freddie's gonna get that goal. Detroit second of the game, Jensen second of the game, and it's a 3-2 goal game. You look at the replay, Zaitsev was busy with a guy in front, Marleau was busy with a guy in front, Gardner nowhere to be seen. But once again, if you watch the replay, Matthews was the guy who was tailing Jensen. And Jensen saw the opportunity, went for the pinch because he knew he had his defense partner and a forward in Mantha in support. Defense, it's a team concept. But hey, I got good news. Not long after, Zach Hyman, you get a gold star because he drew a holding call out of Danny DeKaiser. Sit down, Daniel. You can't do that. Hyman's hard work brings the big boys out, and it takes them 9 seconds. Tavares through the legs. Oh yeah. Kadri getting just a piece of it, but an important piece because if he doesn't get it, I'm not sure it makes it all the way through. But it does get through to, oh my god. I see where the color commentator's coming from. Oh my god. Austin, I want more assists than goals despite scoring 3 times as many goals as assist Matthews. His 9th of the season through 5 games, and this game's not even done yet. Are you joking? Leafs up 4-2. It's bananas. Well, they might be relying on their power play a little too much. Well, as the legend of this power play grows, teams are going to be afraid to take penalties against the Leafs. And hopefully, as a byproduct of that, it starts to open up the ice for them a little bit more at 5-on-5. And if they keep taking calls, power play. Should just start playing the Undertaker theme every time a team goes to the box. There are the Red Wings go out there, not careful, they're going to get a hooking call, and oh, there it is, and oh, there he is! The dead man! He has returned!
Austin Matthews' eyes rolling into the back of his head.
But about 6 minutes to go, the Leafs can take penalties too, and they do. Red Wings power play, Larkin has the puck, he just puts it on lazily from the point. The ref says no, Bertuzzi's like, oh, that was it, yeah. They review it. Freddie reaches back to grab it, and oh! For the second time in 5 games already, the Leafs allow a goal by about a centimeter. If any Americans watching this are confused, that's less than an inch. And what's amazing is this goal actually counts as Dylan Larkin's. You look at the replay, Tyler Bertuzzi takes a whack at it, and you go, surely he must have touched it. As you watch the puck wobble, he doesn't. A centimeter, that's a legendary save, but Leafs still out shooting the Red Wings by a wide margin, but they can never make it easy, can they? It's a 1-goal game. Less than 30 seconds left in the game, Ron Hainsey just rings it around the boards. Why would you do that, Ron? It's gonna be an icing call, they're gonna bring it back, and who knows what happened. Really? Hainsey actually scores an empty net goal, his second goal of the season, his second goal in as many games, number 2 for number 2, and would you like to hear the Red Wings broadcast call of this goal? Yes, he is serious, sir. 5-3 Leafs, and that's the final. That's right, the defense pairing of Hainsey-Riley is a goal a game. See, Babcock is smart. Actually, about that, the Leafs won, and that's great. They're now 4-1 on the season, but Babcock deserves a scolding after that game. He really does. The time on ice says it all for a few guys. Tyler Ennis played just over 8 minutes in this game. Josh Levo played less than 7.5, and Freddie Gauthier less than 6.5. The whole allure of this team heading into the season, forget the top power play. That's a relatively new creation. It was supposed to be the Leafs' offensive depth. And yeah, I know they got 5 goals, but you just didn't use the 4th line. And they were great against Dallas, and that's why we used them again. No, you didn't. You dressed them again. You didn't use them. Now, if Josh Levo doesn't get into that fight in the first period where like 2 punches were thrown, maybe things are a little different. But I wonder if part of the reason the 4th line wasn't used so much is because Babcock doesn't trust them to shut down the opponents because the Leafs were leading most of this game. Well, if you don't think they can do that, what do you think they can do? I get that you're trying to get Kadri going with Per Lindholm, and Lindholm looked good in this one, and I thought Kadri looked good in this one, but dude, no, enough of that. I think these 5 games have made it painfully obvious what the Leafs' bottom 6 should look like. Get Andreas Janssen back in the lineup, put him with Kadri, get them both going, and have Connor Brown on the right side. 4th line, Levo on the left, Lindholm in the middle, Ennis on the right. And when Nylander gets back, we'll figure it out. It's a different story. Now, in Babcock's defense, if you look at the other forward lines, 16, 17, 18 minutes, it was relatively even. So you can defend that. What I will yell and scream about is the defense. Riley, over 22 minutes. That makes a bunch of sense. Hainsey, also over 22 minutes. Mike, you're doing it again. Zaitsev, over 24. Mike, why? Marincin played just over 14. All right, maybe it's because he doesn't really trust him that much. Travis Dermott, 12 minutes and 41 seconds. And all I could help thinking when I looked at that is, what, did he get hurt? If he did and I missed it, I take it back 100%. But what is Travis Dermott doing playing less than 13 minutes? I don't care if the Leafs had the lead the whole damn game. And as for Zaitsev, well, he kills all the penalties. Yeah, he played over 4.5 minutes, but that still means he played about 20 minutes even strength. I don't think he's looked nearly as bad as some people are saying. I've actually liked Zaitsev so far this season, but that's too much. But I'll end with 3 compliments. 2 guys who aren't exactly racking up the points, but I've loved them so far this season. Zach Hyman and Connor Brown. They work hard, they're a pain in the ass, and they've been fun to watch. Connor Brown, I think like 3 straight games now, has been great. Also, I think not getting enough love because he's not exactly racking up the points, but I've liked his game. Patrick Marleau. And you gotta give credit where credit's due. No, his save percentage is not good. In fact, it's in the toilet. But Freddie Anderson was sharp in this one, making a few incredible saves, and really the goals that the Red Wings got were due to defensive breakdowns, like bad ones. Well, sometimes you need a save. Dude, he gave some. Oh, to score more than the other team. Well, it's easier said than done, but Freddie has helped the Leafs do that 3 out of the 4 times he's played. Red Wings fans, if I were you, I would take this as a compliment. In this game, the Red Wings reminded me of the Leafs the year that the Leafs finished last. I know, wait. Now listen. The year the Leafs finished last, they were actually one of the best last place teams in terms of points in the standings of like the past decade or something. 69 points, But the Leafs that year were at least watchable, and they were competitive. They didn't get world-beating goaltending, but they got pretty good goaltending, which I think Jimmy Howard can provide. And they worked hard and got chances. That sequence where they hit 2 posts in 2 seconds, that's hilarious. The year the Leafs finished last, they obviously finished last and lost a lot, but they established a foundation for going forward. They had good structure. They worked so hard. They lacked skill. Whiffing on pucks, fanning on shots, hitting the post, getting robbed. And after that darkness, the sun rose. And for some Red Wings fans, I feel like you don't know how to watch a bad team yet. And first of all, you should feel blessed for that. If the Red Wings play like that all season long, going forward, I think they'll be fine. The personnel needs to be better, and it will be better. Help is on the way. They've drafted some guys. They got more draft picks on the way. Keep it cool. Learn to embrace hope. The hope for Jack Hughes. The hope for Steve Yzerman. Embrace hope. That's what I would do if I were you. Questions? If you put Matthews and Tavares inside the Large Hadron Collider and they collided at the speed of light, what kind of player would come out? Well, if two human beings collided at the speed of light, I would assume they would get smashed into a gelatinous liquid. But these are no mere humans. They would be binded together by their amazing hockey skills and create this floating liquid person that can hold a hockey stick and fly out there. And that person would be called the liquor. And you gotta watch out for the liquor, it'll get you. Alternative answer from Casual Mats. Ah! Oh my god! I'm gonna stop the ride! I wanna get off now! Did anyone actually end up holding Morgan's poodle? First of all, phrasing. Second of all, I hope so, because someone's gonna have to hold on to that poodle when Morgan Riley takes that stage and accepts the Norris, Hart, Ross, and Hart. What do you think about when, not if, Nylander signs, rolling the Nylander-Matthews-Kapanen trio with Kapanen filling Hyman's shoes from last year? Then they move Marleau onto Kadri's line and get him going and rekindle last year's chemistry. I don't mind that idea. I like it. I definitely like keeping Matthews with Kapanen for now. I'm not sure about moving Marleau off. I'll definitely say this though, when Willie rejoins the team, he's got to earn his rollback. I know William Nylander's disgusting and the Leafs are wicked with him, but guess what? They're the most offensive team in the league without him at the moment. And I know he's been training in Europe, but it's just not the same as an NHL game. So when he comes back, he's going to get plugged in where he gets plugged in, and that's it. That, or you could try and win an argument with Mike Babcock, which in that case, okay, good luck. Can we banish Kiprios for suggesting Arizona will offer sheet Matthews? Why? Why would we do that to Nick? Listen, the odds are actually very good that the poorest team in the league will offer sheet the best player from the richest team in the league. That's for sure a realistic thing that will happen. Folks, not to worry. Here, let me just check the scoring race. Yeah, okay. I think Matthews likes being a Leaf just fine. So that is it for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Click like if you like this video. Click subscribe if you really liked it. Tell all your friends. Thank you so much for donating to my hockey team for Easter seals. Let's keep that going. Link down below. You guys are incredible.